Hare Krishna, everyone. It's a great honor and privilege to be with all of you again this morning, and I would like to thank you very much for allowing us to speak this morning and give class on such an exalted topic matter as Lord Krishna, his divine pastimes. So I think what we'll do maybe first today is chant the invocation and read the verse, and then we will chant the Mangala prayers, and by your mercy speak a little something. We feel very disqualified to be here speaking, but since you have asked, we're seeing it as some service to the Vaishnavas. So we would like to beg for your blessings that we can speak something relevant and bona fide, and only by the mercy of Vaishnavas is anything possible, so therefore we can reflect this. So maybe chant the invocation. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nitai go Premanandi. Hari Hari Bo. So let's see what's happening here.
Okay, it's Canto 10, Chapter 51, verses 1 to 6. So the translation. Sukadeva Goswami said, Kalayavana saw the Lord come out from Mathura like the rising moon. The Lord was most beautiful to behold, with his dark blue complexion and yellow silk garment. Upon his chest he bore the mark of Srivas, and the Kaustubha gem adorned his neck. His forearms were sturdy and long. He displayed his ever-joyful lotus-like face with eyes pink like lotuses, beautifully effulgent cheeks, a pristine smile, and glittering shark-shaped earrings. The barbarian thought, this person must indeed be Vasudeva, since he possesses the characteristics Narada mentioned. He is marked with Srivas. He has 4 arms. His eyes are like lotuses. He wears a garland of forest flowers, and he is extremely handsome. He cannot be anyone else. Since he goes on foot and unarmed, I will fight him without weapons. Resolving thus, he ran after the Lord, who turned his back and ran away. Kalayavana hoped to catch Lord Krishna, though mystic yogis cannot attain him. Bhava. Although Kalayavana was seeing Lord Krishna with his own eyes, he could not adequately appreciate the beautiful Lord. Thus, instead of worshipping Krishna, he attacked him. Similarly, it is not uncommon for modern men to attack Krishna in the name of philosophy, law and order, and even religion.
Ask them if they can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you for asking.
What did you say?
She said yes.
Okay.
Om Jnanatimidandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Vridavaya Dati swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sarvetam Sabadutam Harijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrindavanusute Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Gyevacha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Jai Nitai Guru. So, if I'm not mistaken, which I may be, but I think today is also Vasant Panchami. I'm not mistaken, is that correct? I know I looked on the calendar and it's different in different places, so those of you who are online, is that correct? Today is Vasant Panchami. We're celebrating that here. I know, but anyhow, so if it is today, then it's an unusual day for it to be the first day of spring, especially here in New York. I think they're calling for, what did you say it was?
In the news it said snowmageddon.
Snowmageddon. So, it's meant to be some.
That was in the British news. So snowmageddon in New York.
So here's a Vasudeva. Is today Vasant Panchami? Yes, so it is. So that means it's also the very auspicious appearance day of Srimati Vishnu Priya Devi. Today is also Saraswati Puja Day. It is the disappearance day of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Sri Pundarik Vidyanidhi, his appearance day. It's Raghunandan Thakur's appearance day and Srila Raghunath Das Goswami's appearance day. So I think we can imagine that all this snow is simply the Devatas showering flowers on all the residents of New York City in honor of this auspicious day and auspicious occasion. So anyway, Hare Krishna. Would you like to say something?
Okay, so I had a few points about the verses. When I was first reading the verse itself, 1 to 6, I was thinking how nice it was, the description of the Lord. Simply, in a sense, it was describing his complexion, which is dark blue, and his garments, the jewelry he's wearing, he had his earrings, and he's wearing on his chest. And I really liked reading it. I liked listening to this. And it made me meditate on the fact that, yes, this is the person Krishna. This is the person who, when I say you're chanting your rounds in the morning, or you're trying to read something, Prabhupada's books, coming to the temple, doing service, it's this person that you're doing it for. And it kind of surprised me almost that, oh yes, it's like almost like a reminder that you can get caught up in doing the activities and forgetting almost the person behind the activities, if that makes, and almost that we can become so stressed or focused on the peripheral, what's around Krishna, but not on Krishna. And then the whole point is to be Krishna conscious. So it really woke me up a bit that, oh yeah, here's this person that I'm apparently spending 1.5, 2 hours every day in the morning trying to repeat his name and remember it. And it actually made me realize if we forget that person who's Krishna, that's why we can get dragged down into other things like, oh, he said this, she said that, or this is going on, or oh, I've got too much going on, and this one doesn't do that. We can get dragged down by the pettiness almost of our own conditionings because I don't focus on the person. And then it made me think, yeah, on the other hand, if I really liked someone, I would be really focused on that person. Like, you know, Prabhupada gives examples often of attraction between man and woman, as it were. So if I'm really thinking of someone, I'm going to be thinking, oh, I'm going to see that person today, so I'm going to wear something nice. Or they're coming over to see me, oh, I better go to the shops and buy this or this, and I'm going to cook this so I can offer it to them. I can make, you know, did you like what meal I made? And often you think, how many times am I doing that for the person called Krishna? Maybe I'm thinking, oh, I'm so hungry. Okay, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, done. I got time for this. You know? It's like, all right, Krishna. So, but it's interesting how we lose that person in the middle. And a lot of times when that person gets faded out, other things get focused in, as it were, that we don't really need to get focused in on. So that was a major thing, really, when I read the verses. I was thinking, wow, yeah, Krishna's been put into focus here for me. And even something like, because I really like doing D2 worship, and I was thinking, and for me, it goes quickly because I like it, and I think, oh, it's done. Oh, no, we have to stop. But then I often think, yeah, but did you think about the person that was standing in front of you? You know, are you just dressing the deity, as it were? You're just trying to put together the deity, or are you thinking, oh, put it like this, don't put it too tight like that, or garland like this, but I'm dressing in the same way. If I had a child, and I might think, yeah, I'm dressing my child. You know, I'm picking out these clothes and I'm combing their hair and cutting. So yeah, somehow that really hit me, that really brought it to the forefront for me.
Yeah, I think, thank you, really nice, so beautiful and so true. I was thinking, yeah, of course, I think tomorrow is Valentine's Day. And of course, the true Valentine for all of us, the real person we want to fall in love with is Krishna. And here we have that description of the Lord. Of course, this description is also describing the Vasudeva feature of the Lord. It's describing him in his four-arm form, which is a whole topic in itself. But yeah, I too also just these passages are really excellent for us to read before we start to chant, or to just keep on hand to remind ourselves of the person, as you were saying, the personality. And especially I guess it's because I joined during the month of Damodar. So my first experience was at a Damodar program. Well, not my very first experience, but kind of, I guess, this experience that took me a bit deeper. And one Swami was there, and he was giving the talk, and they handed me this book, which is, kind of the Damodar Astakam book with, I think it's Sanatana Goswami's commentary. But on the front is this picture of Mother Yashoda chasing, Krishna with this stick, and he's running. And I remember looking at this and being fascinated that God can be a little boy and he has a mother. You have to speak of the fact that his mother's chasing him and she's going to give him a good hiding or whipping. It was mind-boggling that the personalism. And of course, I had a very nice relationship with my own mother, so I was kind of meditating on that love, the love of a mother, but especially this this statement in the Dhammadarastakam prayers of Krishna wearing shark-shaped earrings. And I know this stands out for lots of devotees, and often devotees will say, what does that mean? And how is that shark-shaped? And we've heard different things. Sometimes I've heard devotees explain that it's like a tiger tooth or a shark tooth is shaped like this, so or the fin of a shark. So sometimes you see Krishna is wearing those fin-shaped earrings. But I know at the manor, they actually have earrings that are shark-shaped, that literally are like shaped like a shark, and they hang down. And I remember hearing once this story about what was during a talk on the Dhammadarastakam prayers, about how Krishna's jewelry, and of course we can remember that in the spiritual world, everything is animate. Everything is it's not static, it's ecstatic, it's dynamic. So every thing in the spiritual world has personality and is a living entity. And one devotee was describing how like when Mother Yashoda or the devotees who are helping to dress Krishna, when they go to pick out his jewelry in the morning, and those of you who are pujaris, you can meditate on this, that and we've had this experience when we go into the pujari room to choose the necklaces or the earrings. You can just picture that each little jiva is in each necklace or each set of earrings, and they're like, pick me, choose me. No, I want to get on Krishna today, please. And like Krishna's dresses, and so we can really meditate on this mood. But one devotee was describing how that the jewelry that's placed on Krishna in general, when we wear jewelry, if we put on earrings or we put on a necklace or we put on, something to decorate ourselves, generally we're trying to make ourselves look more beautiful. And actually the jewelry makes us look more beautiful. Oh, that's a beautiful necklace you're wearing, or beautiful earrings. But with Krishna, the jewelry doesn't make him look more beautiful. The jewelry is enhanced by his beauty. So whatever is placed on Krishna, actually, it becomes more beautiful. Everything in contact with Krishna becomes more beautiful. So especially the shark-shaped earrings really, really stood out to me. And of course, he wears the Kaustubha gem and the mark of Shrivats on his chest. But all of these things we can try to meditate on and really pull to the forefront of our consciousness, especially while we're chanting, we're listening to the name, but our mind can be thinking about that person, Krishna, and really calling out to that person, Krishna.
I think there's a question.
Okay. Looks like Ananda Manjari. Maybe it's hard for us to see.
Hare Krishna. I just wanted to add 2 things about the jewelry, if you allow me. Is it okay?
Oh, sure.
These are just the details, but I find them to be so incredibly sweet, and I hope that they add to the element of personalism. And so there is one pastime in which Radharani is dressing to meet Krishna, and Lalita actually advises her to put the shark-shaped earrings on. And she says it's going to remind Krishna of you and really increase his love towards you, because just like these shark-shaped earrings live in the hole of your ear, and sharks live in the waters and cannot really survive without it, in the same way Krishna cannot survive without Radharani. And so seeing them, he will remember how much he actually needs you and how much he actually longs for you. And then it's also described how the only reason why Krishna's earrings move when he walks, and again, it's just this deep personalism, is because they're continuously trying to jump forward to actually touch Krishna's lips. And
Ah.
they never get close enough, but they're always trying that movement. So
Wow.
that's what I wanted to add.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
I had some points about the pop-up, and one was, well, actually in the verse it says that Kalayavana hoped to catch Krishna, so Krishna turned his back and ran away, and Kalayavana thought, I'm going to run after him and get him. And then in the verse it says, even though great mystic yogis cannot catch him. So I was also thinking about how that point, that sometimes we can get in a, I guess following on from the previous realization I had, that we can get in a tick box scenario with our sadhana or just the practice of Krishna consciousness. And even after some years, you may think, well, okay, where are you, Krishna? I'm not feeling that taste. I'm not feeling the bhakti ras everyone's looks like they're receiving. And I'm thinking, yeah, it's not as easy as that. It's not as easy as just tick this on the list. You know, if you want initiation or something, tick, I did that. Yeah, I did. All right, I read Prabhupada's books, 30 minutes. Yeah, I did that. And like that, is that he's a person. So we can't just catch him so easily. And he's actually, as he says in the Bhagavad Gita, it's love and devotion that attracts him, and not just the tick box, as it was. So I think, yeah, it's not easy to catch him really in that external way that maybe I'm even used to in the material world when studying or working. You know, if I do this, I get this result. If I put in this effort, I get these grades or I get this promotion, and that it's not easy to get that promoted, easily promoted in Krishna consciousness. But I was also thinking how in the purport it's pointed out that Kalayavana, he sees the Lord. He sees, like we're reading about him, we can also see him through the words of Bhagavatam, but he sees him. And his reaction to seeing him is, I'm going to beat you up. I'm going to kill you, basically. I'm going to take you out, as it were, to use a British phrase. But I was thinking, yeah, so what is this Kalayavana effect that we can have in the heart? I'm not personally seeing Krishna, but I'm seeing sparks of Krishna, and I'm seeing some sparks of Krishna in a sense, someone who's very accomplished. You know, they look very beautiful, or they're very talented in their singing, or their worshipping of the deities, or any other skill. And I'm thinking, yeah, are you trying to squash that spark of Krishna, like the Kalayavana effect? Or do I actually feel glorify that person, appreciate that person, let everyone know how great that person is? Or do I actually feel in my heart, either I'm going to run them off out of town like Kalayavana thought he could do to Krishna, or I'm going to run away from them. I don't want to hear about them. So that actually brought that up. I was thinking, yeah, I may not be physically seeing Krishna, but I do see sparks, these sparks of the Lord everywhere. And how do I react to that, whether it's out at work, whatever, or more so amongst the devotees? How do I actually appreciate those sparks? That actually made me think.
That's nice, the Kalayavana effect within our own heart that we, yeah, he was, I mean, I was thinking how fortunate Kalayavana is that he's getting direct darshan of the Lord. And, you know, it's not any old ordinary person can just manifest in Krishna's Leela or Krishna's pastimes. And I often try to remember that also with Srila Prabhupada's pastimes in Leela. It's not ordinary souls who are manifested, you know, they're not ordinary persons who were able to be present when Srila Prabhupada was here performing his, you know, manifest pastimes. So, you know, just Kalayavana is obviously somehow, you know, even though he's not seeing in the right way, but he's still, that soul inside must be some special personality with some adhikar that he's getting the opportunity to see the Lord and perform in his Leela and his pastime. But yeah, so this this point also about the great yogis, again, somehow when I was reading this, it just and hearing it just keeps reminding me of things I heard from Damodar and Leela. And I remember hearing once that while great yogis are sitting in the Himalayas performing immense austerities, some of them submerging themselves in ice cold water, which would be hard to do today, or sitting in a ring of fire in the midday sun, performing such austerities, trying harder and harder to find the Lord in the heart, to connect with the Lord in the heart, or make some great spiritual advancement. They're trying to capture the Lord of the heart within their heart. They're trying to capture Krishna. Meanwhile, you go down the hills a little ways to Vrindavan, and there you have Mother Yashoda in the backyard chasing God around with a stick. God has manifested himself, and she's chasing God around. She's chastising the Lord. So it's amazing the personalism, and also this Bhakti Mam Abhijanati, that Krishna says that he's only captured by the love of his devotees, simply by that love. So really our whole goal is, as we've heard so many times, is really to cultivate and try to develop a loving relationship with Krishna. Jamma karma chame divyam evam yoveti tattvataha tyaktva neham punarjanma naiti. Krishna Krishna explains that one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and my activities in this world, that person at the time of death comes back to be with me and never returns again. So really the goal of our entire life is to fall in love with Krishna, to really genuinely try to fall in love with Krishna. We're just reading recently, and in the Living Name book, His Holiness Satchidananda Maharaj is expressing how vital it is for us to connect with those devotees who have taste, who have love for Krishna, because that's the way that bhakti is spread. We may not be able to approach Krishna directly, but we're able to go and get the association of those who have that love for Krishna, and that's the way that we cultivate and develop it. And just how blessed and fortunate we are that Srila Prabhupada, the pure devotee of Krishna, that he came and he gave so much association, and so much of that was captured by especially His Grace Yadubara Prabhu and Vishaka. And
Vishaka.
Huh?
Vishaka.
Yeah, did I say that?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, Vishaka. Yeah, Yadubara and Vishaka Devi. The baby keeps coming. Yadubara and Vishaka Devi. So they're really so amazing that they captured it. Plus, here we have Srila Prabhupada day in and day out pouring his life's blood and energy into his books, his purports, and he described his purports are his ecstasies. So we're so blessed and gifted.
Actually, there was one quick point, because we're reading the Dhruva Maharaj pastimes at the moment, Canto 4, chapter 12. That's where we are. But it made a point, Prabhupada, I think it was in the pulpit, Prabhupada making the point that Krishna is more pleased with the chastisements of his devotees than the prayers, like when we come and pray to Lord. I believe that's what it was saying, and so we were discussing it. That oh, really? Okay. I have to try that when the curtains open. Curtains open at 8 a.m. I don't think I'd get away with it, especially because the head pujari is here today. But I was thinking, but as we were discussing that, and I was thinking, yes, it's because it's around the relationship, the personalism. Like in this case, Kalayavana, he's seen the Lord, and he's doesn't really care. He just wants to, like I said, beat him up. But the relationship is such that you would only chastise or chide someone, as it were, because you have that level of intimacy that you can get into someone's inner circle and it doesn't affect the other person, if that makes, as opposed to if Kalyavana, who's also trying to chastise the Lord, but he's not in that inner circle. So when he's doing it, Krishna's like, I'm out of here. I don't appreciate that. Eventually he will stop and beat him up and kill him himself. So rather than someone who's still appreciated because they're praying and they're glorifying the Lord, but you could say they're on an outer circle, as it were. So in the inner circle, we see Mother Yashoda picking up a stick and chasing Krishna, and he's cool with that. And it's like, and so he's in the same way he's cool if she's, or anyone at gopis are chastising him, more so, not that it's more so than the prayers, not that the prayers are not important and not appreciated, they're just on the intimacy is less, as it were, the familiarity is
deeper level.
Yes. So here Kalyavana definitely doesn't have that. Even though he's seeing him, the point being, even though he's actually less with the darshan, he's not seeing.
Yeah, I thought it was also interesting how how Krishna, when he comes out to fight, and I believe it was 30 million barbarians. 30 million barbarians have come with Kalyavana to fight Krishna. And Krishna comes out completely unarmed and on foot. It's like, I mean, hello, what? I mean, he's just, we could say it in so many slang ways, but he's obviously just not afraid of Kalyavana. He's just, and even though he's running away and Kalyavana may be thinking, aha, just see how afraid he is. But he tricks Kalyavana to put down his own weapons. And, you know, because even though he's barbarian from the barbarian race, as it were, but still he obviously has some code of ethics or etiquette in doing battle. And he sees that because he's on foot, then he's going to give up his weapons and go on foot also and chase after him. But I just thought that was really amazing that that Krishna just comes out. 30 million barbarians are there to fight. And he's like, no problem.
It's quite cool. If it was made into a movie, it would be a very cool scene, actually. It'd be like the original Marvels or something, you know, character. Just to use that as that cool.
Mother Damodar Priya, I think, has.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for the class. I actually have a question for both Jai Nitai Das Prabhu and Bhava Bhakti Devi Dasi Prabhu. I thought I had heard that within this pastime of Krishna running away and seeming to be a coward, that there's like a special name that he gets because of this, and then there's a deity that also is connected to that pastime. Do you know anything about that? Thank you.
Yeah, so Krishna leaving the battlefield he's called Ranchor, when he leaves the battlefield. And I'm not 100% sure that is this specific pastime. I'm pretty sure it is in the pastime with Jarasandha.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm not seeing it specifically here for this part. But and there is also a deity. I was very fortunate in Gujarat, actually. And if there are any devotees from Gujarat on the call, they would probably be able to explain better. I was fortunate enough to have darshan of this Ranchor deity in Gujarat, just outside of Ahmedabad on the way to Anand, if I'm not mistaken. And I was fortunate to visit and have darshan of this deity. Somehow that deity also was in a different area of Gujarat, I believe, and traveled. The deity traveled himself to a different area, and is now in a space where they worship him. So I don't know the full pastime. Unfortunately, I have to look that up. But yeah, Ranchor is the name of Krishna, where he leaves the battlefield and apparently seems to be running away in fear. He's given the name Ranchor. And yeah, and there is a deity it is worshipped, and 100% it's in Gujarat and like that. So I don't know if that answers your question, but it's a little something anyway. I'm sure Krishna, yeah. Okay, so yeah, there was just one more point. And then we can open it up a little bit more. Yeah, so in the purport, the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they make this statement that similarly, it is not uncommon for modern men to attack Krishna in the name of philosophy, law and order, and even religion. So we see that, yeah, Krishna is perpetually being attacked. Even to this very day, you think about being back in the States. I remember when I was here, when I was in school, we used to say the Lord's Prayer every day. But then, you would say the pledge allegiance to the flag, and you would say the Lord's Prayer. But somewhere between me being, I think, in like 3rd or 4th grade and coming up to 6th, 7th grade, the Lord's Prayer disappeared. And that was kind of, I think, the beginning of what they call the separation of church and state, where basically society started to remove religion as much as possible, to remove God. I mean, I'm surprised sometimes that it still says on the bills in America. I think it still says "In God We Trust," right? So in God we trust. What is it saying? In God we trust. Everyone else pays cash. So like that. So something like that. So yeah. But there is a lot. Of course, science over the years has, done its best to remove the God factor, and of course, even other religions may slight Krishna specifically. So it's like that. In the name of law and order. We just not we, but society tries to remove God. And actually this world in one sense is already the perfect place to become completely illusioned and not see God at all, to just be completely bewildered. Where is God? And it's like that. It's almost like this complete extreme. It's like, where is God? I can't see him anywhere. I can't understand it. There's so much madness, so much chaos going on, so many crazy things happening, crazy, it's just mad. But if you are able to have a sense of Krishna, a sense of God at all in your life, then those personalities, they see Krishna's hand in everything. And I just think about how when devotees used to go for their morning walks with Srila Prabhupada, and he would point at something, and immediately the devotees would be like, what? Prabhupada was just seeing Krishna or Krishna's philosophy everywhere and in everything. I remember in London when he was walking, and it was a cold morning, and he tapped on this puddle that was covered with ice. And he asked the devotees, what is this? And they're all like, oh my God, it's ice, Prabhupada. Prabhupada's like, yes. And he's like, and he said, no, he said, this is the constitutional position of water is that it is liquid. He says, and here the water has taken an unconstitutional position. It has become frozen. And it is like the living entity in the material world. We're naturally Krishna's servants, but we become enamored by the material energy, and we enter into a position of trying to be the master. So Prabhupada was just seeing Krishna everywhere and all the time, seeing his hand, seeing the world with Krishna consciousness. And I was just thinking that, yeah, this is really our goal, despite whatever the rest of the world is trying to convince us that there is no God, that God is dead, that, God is an old man, and, he took a day off, he's taking time off, whatever it is that they're trying to convince us of. But we, as devotees, we have to perpetually and continually show Krishna that we have firm faith that he is there in everything and everyone at all times, watching and us, looking after us and with us, like that. Hare Krishna. Anything else? Okay, so I think we'll conclude there. We thank you very much for your kind attention. We can open it up if anyone would like to to say anything. We have Adi Purush Prabhu here. I don't know if you want to share anything.
Hare Krishna. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, what?
Yes, Prabhu. You can hear it.
What did you say?
He said yes.
One kind of humorous detail about the Ranchur pastime is that the demon is pursuing Krishna and running as fast as he can, but Krishna is just walking very casually, and he can't catch him, right? And even though he endeavors like anything with all his strength, Krishna eludes him very easily. Because so without the Damodar pastime is Mother just sort of binds Krishna not with ropes, but with love. And therefore, Krishna surrenders. You know, whatever we do. And it's so easy, like Mataji was saying, to leave the personality out of the activity. What do they say? Ram Raj without Ram. People are endeavoring for the spiritual world without God. Religion without God. Religion without surrender. And it comes down when they say there's no God. God is dead. You're God, I'm God, we're all God. It comes down to the idea that there's no guru. That nobody knows anything. That there's no one who can offer me something that I don't already know. And there's no one, I do service, but I don't serve anyone, I just serve. You know, they have Thanksgiving. They don't say who they're thanking, right? It's just Thanksgiving. You know, you can be grateful, but grateful to who? You know, so it's so easy to leave God out of religion, to leave Krishna out. Even in the Brahmin were performing this great sacrifice. And when the colored boys came and said, Krishna's hungry, they said, we're doing a sacrifice.
Yeah.
You know, and it's so easy to forget who we're doing it for. So we are reflecting our attitude toward Krishna in our attitude toward our spiritual master, in our attitude toward the temple president, and the attitude toward the person who the spiritual masters asked us to serve. You know, we can really not see the forest for the trees. We're not careful. There's no love in that. It's just activity without a relationship to a person who we're serving. So we hope to please our spiritual master and to please the devotees who the spiritual master has kindly sent to care for us. The false ego is naturally aggressively rebellious and rebelling against any kind of correction, chastisement, or authority. I think authority is in.
Thank you, Adipurusha Prabhu. We have Abir Prabhu. He is the devotee name. I keep forgetting. Prabhu, please forgive us. Unmute yourself.
Sure.
There's another devotee who has
Thank you so much, Adipurusha Prabhu. It was really nice to hear from you. And thank you for the class, dear Prabhus. I just wanted to reflect how this particular pastime to me really highlights the difference between Lord Krishna and Lord Ram, and how Lord Ram really presents like this valorous vision of himself, and he has to sort of sacrifice for his kingdom the people that he loves. For instance, at the end of the Ramayana, for the sake of his nobility and being remembered as Maryada Purushottam, he has to essentially sacrifice his relationship with Sita. Whereas with Krishna, it's so fascinating. He is forever accepted to be remembered as Ranchor, taken on this sort of infamy for the sake of his devotees, to transfer them so lovingly to Dwarka, and himself taking on any discredit, any blame, any infamy. And I just think it so beautifully highlights how Krishna is the Lord of sweetness and of loving his devotees, and there is no comparison to him when it comes to how much God can love his devotees.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for sharing that. Actually, just before the conch goes, which I think it will do in a moment or so, I quickly looked up the Ranchor pastime. And interestingly enough, the word Ranchor is not used in this section of the Leela, but it is this Leela. And Srila Prabhupada in the 3rd canto, chapter 3, text 10, and the purport, he says that after the death of Kamsa, when Mathura was encircled by the soldiers of Kalyavana, Jarasandha, and Salva, the Lord seemingly fled the city, and thus he is known as Ranchor, or one who fled from fighting. Actually, the fact was that the Lord wanted to kill them through the agency of his own men, devotees like Muchakunda and Bhima. Kalyavana and the king of Magadha were killed by Muchakunda and Bhima respectively, who acted as agents of the Lord. And so it goes on to explain, but it's very, very interesting, because just adding to the point that was just made, not only does the Lord, he's okay to be known as the one who fled from battle and ran away, the coward, more or less. Also, he's so happy to give away the credit to his devotees. So he's going to let Muchakunda get the credit for killing Kalyavana, and he's going to allow Bhima to get the credit for killing Jarasandha. So he's not even attached. He's so renounced. The conch is about to blow, so we're gonna say thank you all very much, and I'll Srila Prabhupada the king.
Jai Nitai Prabhu, Bhava Bhakti Prabhu ki jai. Ranchor Krishna ki jai.
And then Shri Radha Murli ki jai, Chandra Bhagavan ki jai, Shiva Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Nitai Prabhu. Wonderful darshan.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Bless. Thank you, Prabhu. This was the class. Krishna can do. Krishna is eager to do anything to facilitate our devotional service, to give us some service to do. Krishna can run away from the battlefield just so we can have some service to do. How wonderful is Krishna, that he gives us things to do. All right. Anyone wants to say anything in glorification of Krishna?
Was there something yesterday that Bhima Prabhu was saying?
Yeah, we cut him off. Arrangement. He wasn't offended or disturbed by it, basically.
I think it probably you're having internet issues too, Ananda Bihari.
Yeah, I was saying that Bhima saw that as Krishna's arrangement being cut off, and he, in general, he sees me as Krishna's arrangement in his life, right, Bhima Prabhu? Okay. All right, he's too busy shoveling snow or other substances. All right, no problem. Okay, Bhima Prabhu, tomorrow we want to hear what you wanted to say yesterday. So with this, we are wishing you a wonderful snow day. No school today, right, Jeffrey Prabhu? Yeah. Bhima Prabhu, you ready? Oh, wow, look at that.
Yes, it's a winter wonderland. I just wanted to say that I thought that was lovely. It's always lovely to see a Prabhuji and a Prabhujini together giving class. And it was such a sweet conversation with all of us. So thank you very much once again for hosting this class. And I've got Indra's storm to deal with. Hopefully I'll be remembering Krishna.
Indra's storm. Thank you, Bhima Prabhu. Yeah, this is how we tie everything to Krishna. We stay blissful through the snowstorm or anything. School, no school, we're with Krishna. It's nice seeing everybody. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Have a wonderful day. Dealing with Indra's storm teaches us the same humility Indra needed. Exactly. Thank you.